You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. I must also have a dark side if I am to be whole. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. To ask the right question is already half the solution of a problem. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. Everyone you meet knows something you don't know, but need to know. Learn from them. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Solitude is for me a fount of healing which makes my life worth living. Talking is often a torment for me, and I need many days of silence to recover from the futility of words. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment and, especially on their children, than the unlived life of the parent. Normality is a fine ideal for those who have no imagination. Wisdom accepts that all things have two sides. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect but by the play instincts acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Free will is the ability to do gladly that which I must do. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. The ability to ask questions is the greatest resource in learning the truth. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. In all chaos, there is a cosmos, in all disorder, a secret order. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. Neurosis is the natural byproduct of pain avoidance. The highest, most decisive experience is to be alone with one's own self. You must be alone to find out what supports you, when you find that you cannot support yourself. Only this experience can give you an indestructible foundation. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The difference between a good life and a bad life is how well you walk through the fire. One looks back with appreciation to the brilliant teachers, but with gratitude to those who touched our human feelings. The curriculum is so much necessary raw material, but warmth is the vital element for the growing plant and for the soul of the child. When you are up against a wall, put down roots like a tree, until clarity comes from deeper sources to see over that wall and grow. Intuition is perception via the unconscious that brings forth ideas, images, new possibilities, and ways out of blocked situations. Whatever is rejected from the self appears in the world as an event. The greatest potential for growth and self-realization exists in the second half of life. Real work is completed in silence and strikes a chord in the minds of only a very few. To confront a person with their own shadow is to show them their own light. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. That which you do not bring to consciousness comes to you as your fate. That which you do bring to consciousness, whether it was what you thought you wanted or not, is your destiny. Perhaps I myself am the enemy who needs to be loved. The doctor is effective only when he himself is affected. Only the wounded physician heals. The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, the world will tell you. Had I left those images hidden in the emotions, I might have been torn to pieces by them. Faith, hope, love, and insight are the highest achievements of human effort. They are found given by experience. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it.